Hey y'all. Going to pull out your journals. I'm going to chuckle and say this, and even your planners if you have them, if you want to journal in those. You know. So y'all didn't get a pre-recorded video today from me. So I said, since you didn't get that, let's go live. And I pulled out the blackout journal. Today will be a chat T type video, but we will journal. We're gonna create a page. I'm gonna just show you how a blackout journal works, and we just gonna have some conversations. So hopefully we all dialogue together. There is a lot going on in the world, and it has transferred to the stationary world too. I don't know how much of that we're gonna talk about. I don't really have to be super specific, because if you're within that community, you already see whatever's going on. But I will probably touch on small portions of that, okay? Just so you know. We'll just chat. Today I think we're just gonna chat. We're gonna chat, we're gonna show you some of the things that you can use in your blackout journal. I believe I can. The last time I opened this was in March, to be exact. So that's the last time that I used this. So if you have a blackout journal, you can pull your blackout journal today. If you do not have a blackout journal, if you have black cardstock, that will work as well. I don't believe I have any black cardstock near me right now. I'm just looking to double check. And I don't think I have any black cardstock near me right now. So, again, we're going to pull out the journal. I think we're in a climate right now where a lot of us need to journal. Everybody at this point probably need to write something down on paper before they head on to social media. And then I do think, social media sometimes serves its purpose to say how you feel, right? So we're not going to take that away. Before we create a whole page, I am going to briefly show you some different things that you can use on your pages. I think I got a couple of different brands of things in front of me. Some of them may work, some of them may not. Again, these pens work really well on black pages, dark paper, and it pops off of it. So this right here is a Milky Pop. I'm pretty sure some of the Milky Pops are not going to work. But, yeah, so, well, this one it may or may not. First of all, do we even have any ink in here? Let's start there. Yeah, it's a little ink in there, but so this is a Milky Pop. On any other day, Milky Pops are really good, but these Milky Pops that I have are super old, y'all, so you ain't getting no action from this, right? So we're gonna go ahead and throw that away. Y'all are actually helping me clean out my pens. All right. So this one isn't working either. So, trying to sell y'all these pens, this ain't it. That one didn't work. Hey. Yeah, so none of these are working, y'all. And they're pretty old. So, that's that. Got rid of those. All right, so let's go on and move over to, this is another Pentel. This is the Sparkle. And you probably can't see it as much. It does have like a metallic look. It's very deep on the paper, so it's not going to show up a whole lot on there. So if you have the Sparkle Pop, it's a subtle type of look. It would probably work if you went behind a bold color. And so this right here is like a metallic marker. And so I am writing the word hello. All right, so that's that. And then if I took this Sparkle, you may be able to see it on the outside of it, but not really under this light that I have, but it does show up if you're right up on it, right? So that's that. Then this is a Jane Davenport paint over pen, so you could do something like that, and then you should be able to write on top of it after it dries. This is American's Craft metallic pen. And then these are like the Sakura. These are the Moonlight pens that I use. Now I use these a lot. And then for my blackout journal, I like the white ones, right? So that's that. And they come in different points. So this is a 08. That's 08 as well. This is a 05. So that's going to be more of your fine point. And then your 10 is going to be the thicker or bolder. Now, when you're dealing with this type of journal, y'all, the pens do not dry super fast. They do smudge. So I just smudged it so you can see. So it is not a fast activating pen that's going to dry. So you want to keep that in mind when you're using stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and just flip over to the other page and just start fresh. All right. Why are you tiptoeing? You fine. So on here, trying to figure out where I'm going to start. I think we're going to turn it this way. And I believe I'm going to write a word on here, and then we're going to talk about this briefly. All right, so I ain't finished. I'm about to write something else. All right, so, hey Fee. Okay, so we talk about journaling, and I don't often talk to you all about how to write when you're in the fields, in all the fields, okay? And so lately, I've been noticing a lot of people wavering with who they are, right? And it's almost like I feel like a lot of people are apologizing for being in the skin that they're in. And it's being done in several ways. And I just, I don't prescribe to not being who I am. And I also don't shy away from it, right? And I think in this season that a lot of us are in, many are learning a lot about themselves. I think a lot of people are learning history that you were never taught. And that's fine. You're never too old to learn. I've said that several times on this channel. And so I've just been looking, scrolling the internet, minding everybody's business but my own. Y'all know I like to tell y'all when I do that, right? And what I've been seeing, I've been seeing a lot of us being blackity black, black, black. And that's fine, because I'm going to be that, all right? I always have. And I'm even at a point where I am so thankful for my family, for instilling in me what I think a lot of people have not had instilled in them. And it's no fault of their own. It just depends on where you were raised, right? But lately, I've noticed a lot of people wanting to be accepted by people that just simply don't accept them, right? And is it right? No. The only thing many of us are asking for is we just want to be alive. Equal pay, equal opportunity. I'm not really even trying to be friends with a lot of people outside of my circle, right? That's not the goal that a lot of us are looking for. It's mainly like, I'm just gonna be who I am, live comfortable in the skin that I was given, and not have to apologize for it, right? I've never apologized for being black. I never will. But I'm just seeing it a lot. And so I just want whoever's on here that is black, that has kind of fought with themselves, like, oh my gosh, and I've seen this on different lives. Like, I hear people say, I feel bad that I've brought somebody in this world in these type of conditions, almost like you're apologizing for being this, for being black. And if I'm talking to you, like, I really want you to journal with me tonight. And I want you to write this down, as uncomfortable as it may feel to write it down on your pages. Write it down. And you know how we say affirmations? We'll do affirmations on peace. We'll do affirmations on joy. But how many people can honestly say that I am proud to be black, like, and say it out loud, comfortable, like I am, right? But that may not be everybody's truth. So if that's you today, it's okay. You can be unapologetically black, okay? Let's take it a step further. I've seen more apologies publicly in my lifetime, and I'm 38. I've never seen this many apologies in my entire life. Like, no joke, seriously. And to the point, it's just becoming so pointless and empty that I just would rather be unapologetic at this point, right? I just would rather some people be unapologetic, so we just know where you stand. If you stand on the other side of what I believe in, at least I know that's where you stand, right? And I think we have to get to a point that just because somebody apologizes doesn't mean you have to accept it and feel bad that you don't accept it, right? It's okay to say that, you know what, I hear your apology, but I don't forgive you, right? And many of them aren't apologies. It's a simple word of saying, I'm sorry. And one thing that I have raised my son to say is, I don't allow him to say, I'm sorry. I let him know you apologize. Because, yeah, it's a lot of sorry people in the world, including the ones apologizing or saying they're sorry. Yeah, you're sorry. Sorry for what you did. It's a sorry action. It's a sorry excuse for an apology. Yeah, it's a lot of sorry people. But if you're really, truly apologetic, there's a couple of things that's not going to happen. You're not going to apologize the day after you said it. Okay? And you're not going to pull out your checkbook in 0.23 seconds without doing the research of where you're going to put the dollars to the people you say that have been affected. And I think somewhere we've gotten lost to, and I'm not talking about you don't extend grace, right? There are situations where grace is given, but do you continue to give grace to the same people that show you who they are? Or do you say, this is who they are, this is what they believe in, and that's that, right? And we like to go back in history. And I think a lot of us on both sides need to revisit history. And some people need to revisit the side they've never seen. Okay. So I just want to say it's okay to not forgive somebody when they say sorry the very next day. It's okay to say, you know what? I don't like how that made me feel. It's okay to say, I'm not going to shop with somebody. It's okay to not be the spokesperson for a company that the very next day or two decides they're stepping down for their own personal reasons, so they say. It's okay to be a little upset right now. We've gotten to this notion that I don't want them to see the strong black woman, or I don't want them to see me like this. Why are we still apologizing for being who we are, right? At some point, you got to learn how to be unapologetic in your walks. Many of y'all get on here and tell people how to be confident in every other area except in the skin you live in. All right. It's just getting a little old. And I know a lot of us are in places we've never seen before. Some of us. Some people have probably never experienced this much anxiety, chaos. You've probably never seen so much racism up front in your face, okay? And I'll explain where I'm from. A little bit about me. I'm from Georgia, and I live in the metro Atlanta area. And so the metro Atlanta area looks a little different, right? Everybody here... Okay, sorry. I think they're shooting firecrackers right now. Let me make sure. Okay. So I grew up in an area called, it's DeKalb County. The base of where I have been or was reared was pretty much all black, y'all. Now, when I first moved here, we moved to Atlanta when I was 2, and then DeKalb County when I was 3. And so when we moved to DeKalb County, it wasn't all black at that moment, right? We were going through a time that was called white flight. So I don't know if any of you all know what white flight is. And what white flight was, oh my gosh, there's too many black people moving in here. We gonna move the other way. So most of my childhood, I was around all black kids. I remember having one white student in kindergarten and one white boy in elementary. Yeah, so those about, and then one in high school. Do you hear those numbers? 1, right? So I wasn't accustomed to being around them, just like a lot of them aren't accustomed to being around us. And so I remember going through high school and getting to the time that I needed to get ready for college. And so I remember my mom and dad specifically saying, listen, I want you to attend a HBCU for the first 2 years. You attend it for the first 2 years. After that, you can do what you want to do. And so I'm like, why I gotta attend a HBCU? You know, now mind you, I was in the band. If you look up Southwest DeKalb, I like to brag on my band. We was the bomb, okay? We was like a college band and all of that. So in my mind, I was gonna be in the band, but I didn't do all of that. But that was their thing. Go to a HBCU for 2 years. If after 2 years you want to transfer, then that's fine, okay? So I decided I was going to South Carolina State University, and I did graduate, so obviously I didn't leave, right? And I didn't understand then why my mom was so adamant. My dad's parents graduated from Tuskegee, and I don't know why I didn't know that when I was younger, because I probably would have followed suit. But anyway, so I ended up going to a historically black college. Had the time of my life. But one of the things that I even learned in that setting was even all of us are different, right? So my mom also came up in an era where she was, see, that's where smudging, where I told y'all of the smudge. She worked in telecommunications. And if you're like 38, between 38 and 46, a lot of your parents probably worked in telecommunications. They probably worked at the time it was called Bell South. They probably worked at AT&T because that's before they merged. MCI, it just was one of those things. Well, a lot of your parents, if you sit down and talk with them, a lot of them were the only black in their departments. They dealt with a lot of things that, many of them probably didn't talk to you about. Well, my mom has always had open dialogue about certain things. And I think one thing that we're seeing now is we're experiencing a lot of what our parents experienced. And the backbone that they had, they didn't let us see a lot of stuff that they went through. They shielded us from a lot. And so what we're dealing with now is what they've dealt with back then. And what's happening is a lot of stuff has not changed. So a lot of us are upset at some of the things that we're seeing. And the only difference between probably then and now is social. If we're being honest, if a lot of you all take the time and talk to your loved ones, if your mom is not alive, aunt, somebody you trust in your community, reach out to them. And I'm saying this all to say, tomorrow is Juneteenth, right? And so instead of us giving all our energy to people that are pissing us off on social media, take some time to learn about your history. Take some time to even find out why are we still dealing with what we're dealing with now. And when you start these conversations, you're going to learn a whole lot. And so then when you start seeing these apologies that you're seeing, you're not going to be moved so easily. Okay? And you're going to also begin to be a little more conscious about where you, myself included. You won't feel bad when you say, I'm not going to shop with this brand anymore. Now, let's be clear. There's been a thing going around where people are like, well, I ain't using my stuff no more. Now, that's you and your business. But if you spent your hard-earned coins and you don't have no extra coins to spend on that other stuff, use your stuff, y'all. It's enough black sticker shops out here where you can cover your stuff up, or there's other shops you can shop with that'll make you feel bad. Now, you don't have to be so drastic. Ain't nobody in your house. And here's the thing, if you don't post it, they don't know. So nobody can tell you what to do with your money and to do with your stuff. But if you're on this whole new journey where you're like, I want to learn about my history, I want to invest in my community, I want to see us advance, I want to see us grow, you kind of got to do the research. You got to do the homework. You can't pretend like you just know everything. We don't. Okay? So we are going to start seeing tomorrow a lot of posts Juneteenth. We're going to have t-shirts on, but make sure you put in a little action behind that. Those planners that you have, if you want to post a picture, put it in there. And again, you don't have to post your every move, but I just employ that, do the work. It's not going to be comfortable. You're going to learn a lot about people that are right around you, and it's not going to feel good. But at the same time, don't shrink in who you are. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm noticing. A lot of people are shrinking in who they are. Like, you're black. We've always been black. Some of you all may have forgotten you were black. And that's a very true statement. It may not sound nice. It may sound a little funny. But sometimes, and I'm going to say this for my age bracket too. Again, between that 35 to, I'm going to go ahead and say 35 to like 46, 47. A lot of us have received opportunities off of the back of our parents, and many people have forgot. And you'll hear stuff like, that was back then. That ain't my issue. I live here, and I like to use where I live as a point of reference because I just know the area, right? So you may say, and if you're from Georgia, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You may say, oh, I can't live where I used to live. I'm gonna move to Gwinnett, or I'm gonna move up to, I'm gonna move downtown Atlanta because it's better, right? And so now what you're seeing, your timeline is frustrated. your friends are frustrated, and you're seeing a lot of people go to bat because they got a little too comfortable, right? And we're not saying that we're not supposed to advance, because definitely that's the goal, you advance. But I think we've lost sight of, when you advance, you still take care of your community, okay? And I'm gonna just be honest, where I live, it's still segregated. Nobody wants to have that conversation right now. These are the uncomfortable conversations if we're going to sit and talk to both sides of the party, black folks and white folks. Do we really want to have that conversation? And when we have that conversation, can we have it right now? Now, there's definitely policies and stuff that we got to work on in the now. We can't wait on that. We don't have time for that, because too many of us are losing our lives. But before we can sit down at the table with other people, do we need to know our history a little bit more? Do we need to know what we're asking for before we go on a tangent and we speak up for them? Do we always need them in every move that we make? And I think that's what, for me, has been so frustrating in the past few days. I've seen more strife in areas that there shouldn't be strife, where there should be a connection and there should be unity and there should be like, all right, y'all, let's figure this thing out. But it's like this. It's like we're pulling. What are we pulling for? So anyway, just know it's okay to be black every single day of your life without apologizing. And I think it's time to learn history. The history many people didn't get in school, and you will never get in school. We have so many tools in front of us right now. And here's the thing, y'all. Let me just use this as reference. If it's stationary, we're going to go Google it. We're going to go Google it. We're going to find what we want, how much it costs, where to get it from, who got it, what influencers are using it. But when it comes to the information that you need to know, are you going to do that? So again, tomorrow's Juneteenth. No, I'm not going to tell you what Juneteenth means. If you need to know, I just told you, Google's there. But in your reflection time, if that's something that you're going to choose to take part in, I will give a couple of suggestions on what you can look into and what you can look up on Juneteenth. Let's do this. So a lot of people want to announce what they're doing on the forefront. You don't have to necessarily announce that, but you may not know what to do, right? So I know y'all see Buy Black, right? You see Buy Black. Make sure you are researching to make sure that it's actually a black company, okay? You have to be really careful with the climate that we're in right now. Stock photos come a dime a dozen, and you'll see people pushing off a brand as if it is black. Got to be a little careful, okay? Google drop the name in there. Do a little bit of research. Another thing that I've done is, before I talk about it, I'm one of those, I like to be about it, right? So a lot of my friends and I, we've been on the phones, and I'm like, oh, I just got to I got to do something more. I got to do something more than what I've been doing. And so we started talking about our colleges and stuff. And I said, but you know what? I'm not active in my alumni chapter here. I can't talk too much junk until let me put my money where my mouth is. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and pay my alumni dues and get involved. Because in order for your community to advance, you have to know what's going on in your community and where you can play a part, right? So you may not be the one that's on the front lines, but you want to have a voice. Are you an educator? Let's talk about education. Are you a tutor? One of my line sisters is a tutor. I put it in my stories today. Do you know a child that needs to read? If that child needs to read, can you guide them to where they need to be, right? There are so many things that can be done in so many pods, and it can all come together. Instead of us, we're mad right now, y'all, and it's fine, but you got to be angry with a little action behind that, okay? I tell y'all all the time, there's moments where I'm just like, ooh, I don't feel like doing nothing, but then I have to pull it together. Like, okay, so what can I do now? So I would say within over this weekend, if you're in a reflective mode, what can I do to be a part of the cause, right? What can you do? What do you want to do? Another thing I did, I supported one of my classmates from South Carolina State University. He wrote a book. I'm gonna read his book tomorrow. That's gonna be a part of my stuff, right? So I'll be honest. I've been mad, y'all. So as I'm mad, I'm like, I'm going to buy. What black business can I buy from? So your girl got a list for y'all. If y'all need one tomorrow, I can give you a list. But even in celebration, I would say if you're I'm gonna say it again. If you're celebrating Juneteenth tomorrow and you don't know what it is, it's not okay that you don't know, but it's okay that you can learn, right? So maybe that's a part of your day tomorrow to learn about it. Do whatever. Maybe you need to, in this community, go look up black brands that you want to support. Maybe you want, for you, it may be, I want to find some allies. If that's your thing, do your thing. If that's what's on your heart right now, that's on your heart right now. I ain't done yet. Are they out there? They are. So I'm not saying they are, but right now my goal is, what can I do within my community? And the one thing that I know I can bring to the table is to teach y'all, open these journals up. Put your ideas down. What is it that you want to do? Who do you want to connect with? If you're mad at somebody, write what you're upset. What are you upset about? I think that is something that you can do, right? I think one of the things that you also notice in our community, we're so strong. So we're strong in this moment that we're not allowing ourselves to feel. And I ain't saying me because I've been feeling. But some of us are not even allowing ourselves to feel. We're just ready to go in full action without feeling it, right? It's not comfortable, y'all. It's not comfortable. And I'm going to say this. Stop trying to make your counterparts comfortable as well. If you know you're sitting in uncomfort, but you're trying to stroke their ego and their back, you can't, right? You're not going to be able to heal. So at some point you have to say enough is enough, and I got to tend to me so that I can be better in my walk. How can you help somebody in a walk that you ain't even walking in, right? So just be careful of feeling like you owe somebody. You got to feel like you got to take you first. You got to take care of you first. So I just, I want y'all to be in tune with who you are. And if you don't know who you are, if you're open to therapy, yeah, go to therapy, okay? Therapy is the truth. Like, life coach, self-help books, whatever you need, it's okay. And it's okay not to be okay, right? So yeah, y'all. So my start of Juneteenth tomorrow will probably be I need to do my hair. That's probably what I need to do first. That'll be the start. I am gonna do a Juneteenth spread. But again, my thing is, don't go along to get along. If you don't know why you're doing it, again, research it tonight. I can tell you, my neighbors outside again with these firecrackers, and I don't like them, but if they shooting the firecrackers for Juneteenth, pre-Juneteenth, I'm all here for it. Oh, Nikki, you're in the Metro Atlanta area? So I'm pretty sure y'all, Nikki knows too. Like, it's real in these streets. So I've been, in the backgrounds, like, what can I do within my community? How can I help? Like I said, I got active with my college alumni. I'm active with my sorority finally. Delta Sigma Theta, by the way. This video is not endorsed by any of them. And this video is solely the thoughts and opinions of my own, okay? But I just want y'all to be okay with working through where you are and not feeling obligated to pander to others. Now, if you want to pander to others, and that's how you feel, that's you and your thing. But please don't get mad at your sisters that are trying to heal. And don't yell at us on social media, y'all. You ain't gonna get our attention. And I'm gonna say this one more time. Be careful of who you taking up for. Because when they're done with you, they're done. And this is not everybody. I'm not lumping everybody into a category. But what I'm saying is when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Please believe them. Hey, Nikki, what school did you go to? All right, and so for your journal prompt, if you have your journal or sticky note, whatever you need, go ahead and pull that out. I'm going to give you a journal prompt to write on. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to define the word. Oh, you went to Fort Valley. Okay, I know a couple of people that went there. You're going to define the word apology. You're going to define the word remorse. You're going to define the word. Hold on, I forgot what. Okay, so we got apology, remorse, afterthought. So we got apology, remorse, afterthought, define denial, and define acceptance. As we talking about one brand that I told y'all, I ain't shopping with them no more, but I'm going to use my stuff. Because I done paid too much money. Anyway. All right. So those are 4 words. I mean 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are 5 words that you are going to define. And in your reflective moments as you define those words, and when you define them, y'all, I really want you to look at what they mean. Like, not just, oh, I'm writing this cute, my page is cute, but what do these words mean? And after you define them, I want you to set your timer for 15 minutes, because I pretty much feel like everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people that are on this live, you are in the planner or journal community, more so the planner community than journal. I'm getting y'all on this journal wave. But I would like for you to look at all of those, the 5 words, and within the last, let me do my math. Within the last 5 days, if I'm calculating these posts correctly, let's go with 5 days. In the last 5 days, how have those words affected you? And I want you to be real honest with yourself, okay? How have they affected you? And why? Almost a week, right, Ash? I think so. I want you to, like, when you're doing your reflective moment, hey Tammy, when you're doing your reflective moment, how did it make you feel? What did you, like, so your who, what, when, where, why, those are questions that you tend to ask yourself in your reflective moments. What about this last week and those words have shifted, if at all, your mood, your perception, your thoughts? Like, what has changed within these 5 days? And how does it make you feel and why, right? And here's the thing, y'all, nobody's saying we have to all be on the same page, because we're not going to be on the same page. All I'm saying is live where you are, live in that moment and heal and move from it. But make sure you have a conversation with yourself. Sorry, y'all, I keep pausing because them fireworks, I don't like them. Make sure you have a conversation with yourself, like you're being really honest with how you're feeling. Work through it. If you mad, you mad. Put that in your journal. I'm mad. I'm tired of hearing an apology every 2 days. I am. So that's where I stand, okay? I ain't telling you to stand where I stand. But I'm tired of apologies. I'm tired of crocodile tears. You know, it's a lot. So now I'm at a space that I have to protect my energy. But I'm so undisciplined right now that I just want to see the foolery sometimes. And I'm like, but I'm making myself feel crazy, right? So at some point you have to take that accountability that you're too invested in what you already know the results are. So am I going to pull away from it, right? Now we know this stuff is new from yesterday and today. So I don't know if I pulled away just yet. But I do know that I'm going to have to pull away, because what happens is we spend so much time trying to fight a fight that's not even ours that we get lost. Where a lot of that time could be developing whatever we need to work on. However, you need to work through it, right? So I do know that a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are mad. We got to call it what it is. A lot of people have spent a lot of money with these brands. Now, here's where the mistake happened. You went in spending money thinking that they cared for you, right? You have to decide when you're shopping with brands, because there's a lot of brands we buy from that we know for a fact don't like us, but we don't want to have that conversation right now. So you have to decide, is it just something I like and I'm willing to stand with this company because I just like stuff and that's what I'm going to do? That's totally you. That's you. As Tabitha says, that's you and your business. But if you know you have an internal turmoil and it's like you're just upset and you mad and you don't understand and you find yourself trying to fight for somebody to accept you, you may need to step away. But before you can step away, you may have to go through the process of, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel like they have to want me? And we're talking specifically about a paper brand right now. I ain't talking about injustices. That's a whole nother topic. Now, at the end of the day, all we asking for simply is stop killing us at the end of the day, and just know that we're black and we're human. That's it. Nothing else. It's that simple. Stop killing us. We're black. Get over it. We're black. We're not going anywhere, right? So that's the basis of that. So we're not talking about that. But when it comes to your peace and your serene surroundings are getting affected, and it's by a company that truthfully you can let go, but you have some kind of soul ties, you may need to figure out what has you holding on so strong. And so I'm going to take it a little step further. I've said this several times on some of my videos, and I often say that the connection between the planet community and things that are going on in your personal life are heavily connected. A lot of times when you shift to something and you find yourself, we're going to use the word kind of obsessed with a certain product or a certain thing, it's because you're typically running from something and you're not dealing with something, right? And so I think where you're seeing a lot of hurt is, dang, this was my safety blanket. This was my security blanket. And they didn't hurt my feelings. I'm already dealing with some other stuff. And dang, I done gave this much money to a brand. And it's a part of something that's a security blanket. But I'm just here to tell y'all, it's more shots. But definitely work through your hurt. I get it. Some of us can pull our bank statements and we know. We have paid over more than a stack. I'm looking at my desk and I know it's more than a stack sitting on this desk. I'm sorry. Most of y'all do know what a stack is, right? Hopefully. And if I got to explain that, you ain't the audience. So that's that. So yeah, y'all, work on healing. Stop apologizing for being black. Because that's who you are. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And I'll say this. You think they'll be fighting this hard for us not to be saying that we're black, unapologetically happy? It's a beautiful thing, y'all. But I do want y'all to write. Because like I said, everything that's going on is heavy. It's a lot to see. It's a lot unfolding in front of our eyes, and a lot of us are taking it in, but we're not putting it anywhere. So it's just rotating in your head, rotating, and it's almost just like every week it's something. And I'm gonna say this again: if you live in Georgia, I done told y'all, Georgia's off the chain. I don't know what we got going on. I have a joke with a few people. I'm like, when they tore down that dome and they tore down that black church, I'm like, did they summons the spirits? Because we've been wrestling in Georgia for a minute. Put that church back. So anyway, I ain't coming on here and chastising y'all. That ain't it. But speaking on that, y'all, if we gotta have certain conversations, this one was a light one because I ain't really say, you know, let's say it like this. You know how like, oh, I love our relatable things because either you get it or you don't. But you know how you might not like a family member. You might not like them. But if all y'all in the street together and something go down, y'all are a united front. Cause ain't nobody supposed to know your family business. We gotta get back to that, y'all. We gotta get back to that. That's what's missing. Once we get back to that, the world ain't ready. They are not ready. So yeah, y'all, this is my creative page. I just want y'all to stop apologizing for being who you are. Let's see, I want to do. So as I told y'all, it smudges so much. That's the one thing I don't like. But it shows up so pretty on the page. So yeah, tomorrow's Juneteenth. Learn a new fact. Find a new shop. Post how you feel. Uplift somebody. Be lifted up. Sign a petition. Find out who's in your district. Do the actionable steps. And if you're interested in starting something or doing something, look that up. One of my line sisters posted about, looking at stock that we own. We own stuff, y'all. Not a lot, but we own stuff. So maybe look into that. I know tomorrow, if you're in Tennessee, this started here. It started in Tennessee. Slim and Husky's Pizza place. They're opening their second location here. I think that's super cool. Their pizza is really good. So I thought that was cool that they're opening on Juneteenth. I was like, oh, that's so dope. I know there are going to be some people going out. Y'all still be, still be safe. COVID is still real in these streets. One day I'm going to tell you all the story about my family friend. She gave me permission to tell it, but I ain't doing it today because we done already had a heavy conversation, and there right there. That's a testimony and a half. So that's what I wanted to say, y'all. Just stop apologizing for being you. And stop accepting every apology that comes out a day later. Just sit on them. Sit on it. You know how you leave people, you leave them unread on the phone, like you ain't read it? I've heard a few people, I think Fee said, and I've heard other people say, you know, when you get quiet, they get nervous. Because if you didn't know by now, we have buying power out of this world. We spend the most money out of everybody, even with the disparities that we have. So can you imagine if you kept your dollars as quiet as you did with accepting the apologies? Don't accept the apology, keep them dollars quiet. Oh, I did have another thing to say. Yeah, I do. And please don't be, okay, so this is from a business standpoint. Please don't be so moved by when people pull out their checkbooks. Because let's talk about what happens when people pull out their checkbooks. And they write a $30,000 or $100,000 check to a 501c3. Okay? It's a nonprofit. So guess what they can do at the end of their fiscal year? They can write that on off. Right? So what does that mean? As Ash said, they ain't missing nothing. Okay? So you got to be real careful how moved you are by the movement of a pen on a check. I ain't moved by that. But see, a lot of this is things that were indoctrinated. But that's a whole nother video. Because at the end of the year, y'all, I write off stuff too. So I don't have to owe tax write-off. Because you see this pen that I'm using? And this book that I'm using? And all the pens and stuff that I buy, and I come live on YouTube because I'm going to get, you know, a 1099 from these companies, and I got to write stuff off. Yeah. So I write a fat check too, especially, and guess what? What's coming up? A lot of companies, not all, their fiscal year starts in July. Oh, how convenient these big money grabs are right now. Yeah. Because their new year is starting next month. But see, these are things that we got to talk about openly. Now, I don't mind talking about this openly. So be careful when you're going on these posts. Thank you so much. You care. Oh my gosh. It means so much to me that you said it out loud. And next month, that CPA is going to be like this. I ain't telling you how to feel. I'm just telling you to be aware. Everything ain't clean in the buttermilk. So, you know, just some observations. If we was in our own room, y'all, I would be talking to y'all not so censored. Trust me. I wouldn't be censored at all. But I'm real censored. And not because I'm scared to say something, but just like I said, you can't put all family business outside. Anyway, y'all. So how was y'all day? Hope you learned something from this. And if you did, you know, it just wasn't your time. And the lesson may not have been for you. Oh, you've been decluttering? Yeah, I've actually did pretty good with decluttering as well, y'all. That ain't been that bad. I've actually accomplished quite a bit in this pandemic. Like, in the midst of the foolery. Oh, you about to get your hair braided? Y'all, I'm over here looking like a Q-tip. I need to. Let me tell you, this how you know you getting out of pocket. So my son walks up to me and he says, Mommy, you should twist your hair. I said, okay. So maybe it's time. Cause you know, kids don't have no filter. They ain't really concerned. That was his nice way of saying, you ain't tired of looking like that yet? Not yet. Gotta love him. So what I'm doing now, y'all, is taking this white pen and writing on top of this gold. So even if you have white pages in your journal, you can take this gold and then you can layer on top of it. Yeah, he like, all right, homie, this a lot. Let's go on and do something about this. And y'all know when you growing out natural, it's already a journey in itself. Not to mention, I have not. Um, let's see how this writes on here. I have not added my hair color yet. And yeah, I'm around here looking real creative. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hoping that tomorrow is a better day. It happens. So how has it been for you all journaling? Do you find it challenging right now? Um, or do you find it hard to write? If I was really concentrating, I would have tried to draw something on here, but that ain't it today. Okay, So let's talk about when you're pissed off, you're upset, you're mad, and how a couple of strategies to get it out on paper. Um, okay, cool. So for some people that may be better, like the planner, because it's not so overwhelming, right? It's a smaller space. You can get out what you need and then focus and start from there. Okay, so you've been journaling more. Um, so lost. So you're at a loss with words, which is normal, right? And so Ash made a very good point, y'all. So if you're at a space where it's like, oh, I just don't know if I can write, you can do a couple of things. You can journal creatively. So how she mentioned stickers, you could actually create a whole journal entry of your thoughts with stickers. If you got emoji stickers, if you have florals, or if it's just therapeutic, right? So sometimes we need something that's going to ease the mind. And like I mentioned on a live the other day, my therapist made it real plain and clear. She was like, hey, are you journaling before bed? And I'm like, no, because I'm like, I be waking up with a headache and I'm clenching my teeth. And I'm like, am I fighting in my sleep or something like that? So she's a bit like, she said, so do you release what's going on in your head before you go to bed? And I had to stop, right? Because y'all got to think, I'm an avid journal user. So I will journal at different times of the day. I don't have a set schedule. And so one of the things she said is either journal or just like I mentioned to y'all before, like a journal dump, just kind of write the words. You don't necessarily have to write the journal entry. If you say, I'm just mad, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, even writing that is kind of like releasing that out. Something on the pages. And what I will say, when a lot of people are upset, it's a little more challenging to write it depending on what the topic is, because once it's on paper, you're looking at it, right? And so let's just say you may be upset with yourself for not doing something you said you was going to do, and you wrote it on paper. You have a couple of choices. You either stay stuck in that, or you say, you know what, I don't like how that turned out, but I'm going to work on the next step. And so it is kind of difficult sometimes for people to write, not when you're mad at somebody else, or usually, and I'm gonna say this, women can typically write the bomb journal entry when they're mad at their significant other, right? It becomes easy. Like, I'm just mad and they did this and I don't like this, he did this. And I mean, you will outline that thing like the best Lifetime movie ever, or the best BET special. But when it comes to writing how you truly feel about an experience that's not attached to a significant other, we tend to kind of shy away, right? We'll shy away from our disappointments. We'll shy away from a hurt. Or if we write about it, it's very subtle. Like, I'm mad, let's use, I'm mad that I didn't get the position. And you may be mad that you didn't get the position, but let's just say you didn't do what was necessary to put yourself in a position to get the position. So you don't say the actions that you took. And so a lot of people will find, if more of the blame is shifted towards them, I don't necessarily want to write about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's easy to keep it internal, but what then happens is that energy is transferred to everybody else around you. So I like to often say, like, transfer the energy to that page. Get it out on the page. Allow yourself to feel that moment and then revisit it. What can I do differently? How can I change this narrative? Am I ready to change how I feel? Right? And so when you start flipping through your journal, when you get into that habit, you then will start seeing your growth. So Nikki said she just needs to get started and try not to make things perfect. Yes, right? So Nikki, if your whole thing is I just want to start journaling, you don't have to do a creative journal, right? Creative journaling for me is more therapeutic. It may be stressful for other people. Your thing may be simple as, let me write these words on this paper, and the end. So don't feel like you're obligated to having a creative journal if that's not where you are. You said, yes, it is hard to write. I have been capitalizing all my words. Yeah, I mean, expression can come out in whatever forms. Capital letters, scratched out letters, whatever it is. Let's see if I missed any comments. So you've been having better experience. Okay, so just try it. A lot of times I have to tell y'all, just try it. So I remember I was talking to my therapist and I was like, sometimes I just don't feel like doing stuff. And she just looked at me and she listened and she said, sometimes you have to do things even when you don't want to. And of course I looked at her like, what? I mean, what do you mean? And every now and then I find myself saying, you know what? Just do it anyway. And so a lot of times it's more of just getting it out and feeling it as you're writing. Another thing, if a tear drops on your page, it adds character. Don't worry about all of that. If the tear drops on the page, it just adds a little character. And I think we briefly talked about it the other day. If you're having a good day, write about that too, especially now. If you had like a good moment, you need to make that page pop, okay? Even if you're not drawing on it, you might have to write in the middle of the page. Today was the bomb. It was amazing. I loved my day, right? Big and bold. Because you might be flipping through on another day and you just needed to be reminded that there are good days in the midst of these bad days that are here, right? And like I told y'all the other day, every day is not bad. It's just how you perceive it. Now, some of the days we've experienced, they've been off chain. We ain't even gonna pretend like they were good because they weren't. Yeah, so Nikki, so if anybody is experiencing what Nikki is experiencing, if you find yourself stressing over my page ain't cute, oh my gosh, why is not looking like this? That's not the point of journaling. Journaling is to get your expression and your emotions out. The decor is just the bonus. That's if that's something that you require for your journal. If you don't require it, LIG, let it go. And sometimes you can even journal and then decorate around it after, if that's something that you want to do. So that's my page, y'all. Ooh, we done stayed on here past the time, y'all. I guess I had a lot to say. I just tired of seeing y'all not standing y'all truth. I'm like, come on, girl, stand up strong now. I ain't telling you not to feel, but in every other moment, we strong and we got our head held high, Don't drop that head now. Thank you. Tomorrow is going to be a busy day in a lot of areas, so make sure that you are safe. Pay attention to your surroundings. If you don't have to go out alone, don't go out alone. Because you also can't be naive, right? If it don't feel right, leave. You have that feeling of intuition or that intuition bug for a reason. So yeah, that's all I wanted, y'all. I recap. Don't apologize for being black. If somebody apologizes and you don't accept it, boom, you ain't got to accept it. If it's messing with your energy, there's a couple of buttons on your social media sites. You can mute people for 30 days. If you like, I still like them, but I can't. You can go ahead and mute them. You can protect your energy that way. You can unfollow pages that don't align with you. And you can also remember that you don't know half of these people in real life. So yeah, you don't know them. And that's okay. So you don't have to feel obligated to stay in those connections. And if those connections no longer serve you, move on. You do know that seasons are here for a reason, right? You got seasons for a reason. You can apply the same thing to your social media life and your real life for that matter. Um, I'd also suggest stay out of the comment sections on news channels sometimes, y'all. It ain't healthy. I don't know how many of y'all have been like me and typed a whole paragraph and was like, delete, abort mission, just stop. Like I have been like, what is this gonna help? And that in that moment I said, oh girl, you're growing. You're growing. And again, it's not that I'm scared to say how I feel, but sometimes I'm like, but this is just it's just non-productive right now. Like, I'm not. I be telling y'all, all right, and then I start back on the page. Yeah, this is I'm telling y'all, this is what I do off the screen. Like I just keep going. Right. So like I told y'all, in Georgia, it's just so much going on, y'all, and those comment sections be trash. And I'm like, Adrian, no. Just just no. And especially if I feel myself being enraged, I'm like, this is not where you're supposed to be. Let's not. So if I feel like seeing a debate between somebody, I'll go to like Shannon Sharp page. I like sports too. So lately I've just been on their YouTube channels. It's a different feel. Like, are they talking about the things that's going on in life? They are, but it's not as heavy. So I've been watching sports dialogues, sports channels. And then I've been watching like tiny apartment channels, like looking at their decor. Now that's a stress reliever in case y'all need some different stress relievers. Um, Sometimes I'll watch plant videos because y'all know I'm into that. That's been centering me a little bit. Reading books, coloring. And then I'm playing this game. Okay, so y'all, let's talk about how trifling I am, right? I have set a budget for a video game on my phone. I'm like, girl, why are you paying real money for these jewels to play this game? Like I have set a budget for a gaming habit on my phone. Um, so yeah, that's been another one of my guilty pleasures. The money that I would normally spend on fast food or if I was out in the elements, I'd be playing this little game, y'all. Girl, I ain't lying. I just set a budget. They got me a Google card and everything. I got a $10 Google card I need to load on there. Just saying it sounds crazy. But that game, I mean, it's getting a little expensive, so I'm gonna have to stop. And y'all, it's a dragon game. As I'm saying it, it just sounds so crazy. It's a dragon game. But I be so serious. If you ever played Candy Crush a long time ago, y'all know how Candy Crush used to be real addictive. This dragon game for me, oh man. And it ain't doing nothing but matching objects. But I'm like, hey, I'm trying to keep this brain healthy too now. But I'm like, yeah, we gonna have to put a cap on that. I have to take that budget on back down. But when we get off of here, I'm gonna play that game though. And pull that card and load that $10 from that card. Sure am. Yes, Ash, why do you know about Merge Dragon? Why do you know? Girl. And they got the little the roller skate event tomorrow. I thought about I thought about reloading Candy Crush, but I said, nah, you know better. I beat the whole level, like all of it, but I thought about it. Okay, Ash, so you understand where I am. Girl, like I be merging these trees. I almost got like 4 more trees left, girl. They don't understand. That has been my jam. That has gotten me through this season. So y'all see how you find a little laughter in the midst of it all. Like you gotta find a little bit of balance somewhere in between there. I may or may not tell y'all to go check out Merge Dragon, and if Merge Dragon is a little too much for you, they got Merge Pets or something like that. But I just do the Merge Dragons, and I'm not apologetic for how you gonna get hooked on it. Cause see, at first you're gonna be like, "Now this is stupid," and then you're gonna keep going, and you're gonna keep going, and then you're gonna be like, "Now why am I still on this game?" Yep. But it eases my anxiety. So I said, well, we just gonna have to work with this for a second. I see some of y'all now in my head looking up the game. Uh-huh. I see it. Uh who Ash? I know. Mm-hmm. October ain't even here. Folks gonna be like, what you want for your birthday? Oh, a Google card. Just can you give me $100 Google card? Oh, the little things. Like, girl, you want a Google card? I sure do. Sure do. All right, y'all. So just wanted to end that on a light note. Be you, unapologetically. All right, so I think I'm done. Joy, let's not take up for your nephew right now. We're not gonna do that. Ash, this is true too. Joy, I can't remember the level. It's been years since I played that. Like, it's been years. But Joy, in his defense, he bought him some V books or somebody books or something. So we even right now. Exactly. He got Minecraft too. That one as well. All right, y'all. So I enjoyed y'all. I'm gonna log off, and I'm actually going to journal in this one. I'm gonna take a photo of this and put this one on IG. I'm gonna work on my Juneteenth page in here. So yeah, I don't fool with her because she let him get away with everything. So yeah, I did journal a little bit here. I didn't do the other one. Some of my other pages, I still need to go back and do that. Ash, don't feed into it, because he get his own container of cookies and everything else. I can't. All right, y'all have a good night. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, so every time I post, you are in the know. Good night, y'all.